Q here, still attempting to be the most boring candidate of this election. Right now I'm filming this in the Taaporinvuori area. That's a little bit outside of Tampere, but this is a matter that concerns the cities of Tampere, Pirkkala and Lempäälä, our very close neighbors. This is a very large forested area, and my prime message is we need to protect this. There are some plans, traffic management plans, new roads that would destroy or break this area in half. That's a little bit of a too high price to pay for good traffic, even though I realize the need. Fortunately, there are alternatives. That's what I'm talking about here today. My own past with nature, I was taken to the forest when I was very young. No, not like taken to the forest and left there for dead for the wolves to feed, but I mean taken to visit the forest. I've seen the beauty and the cruelty of nature very young. I've seen farming. I've seen the both organic farming and the very intense where the chickens had this much space. And I've worked at a farm during one summer, and there was a veterinarian who was recently retired, worked at the head zoo as the head veterinarian there, and he had this opinion about pets, which I think there's some wisdom in it, that if you live in a small apartment in the city, the biggest pet you should have is something that fits on the palm of your hand. Personally, I'm not a cat or dog person, I'm a fox person. I like animals in nature. However, this is just me, what I think about pets in my personal life, but hey, you got cats and dogs, you like them, you take care of them, wonderful. I don't got anything against that, and I am certainly not going to require or suggest any kind of legalization to change that or challenge that. But I like to say where I come from. So let's talk about the forest now instead a little bit more. This area, I mentioned, it's known throughout Finland as a very interesting spot to go on. You can go here walking, hiking, nature photography, mountain biking, orienteering, that's a wonderful sport, and a lot of other activities one can do here. There were people at a picnic right there. There's a nice picnic table here at the top. A lot of reasons to come here. And forests to Finland are something of a real historical issue, but also something in today. Now, historically, even in pagan times, we worshipped forest deities and such. We knew the value and power of the forests, and I think there's a lot of wisdom back there. Eventually, we learned about forestry. We knew how to take care of the forest so that it would feed us, clothe us, and provide us resources. First, it was tar. Now we're talking about nanocellulose fibers. Sorry, that's not really, chemistry is not my strong suit, but I know that we're making new things, and we know how to take care of the forest responsibly. And one part of that is because we're constantly challenging the ways we handle forests. There's new science suggesting, oh, we shouldn't cut down trees in this way, but we can try this other way. This is better for nature, and it provides equal or even better yields, because we're constantly learning and we're accepting new science. Even newer science is information about the forest's bacteria. Now, there was a very interesting study that suggested that if children get subjected to forests and certain natural habitats, natural plants and such, basically they're healthier. They don't get sick quite as often, and they generally tend to do better. We also know the mental health side of this matter, because we know that going to the forest a lot can help alleviate mental strains in some cases. They can help you avoid getting certain mental illnesses, and in some case they can be a part of the treatment and help you get over these tough situations. But do please listen to your doctor about these. I am not a doctor. I can only quote studies. But it might work for you. It might not, but the price to pay is very, very small. Just go out there, because we have a lot of forests, and as you know, you can just go into any one of them, and it's a pretty good hobby. Of course, here, if you come here to Taaporinvuori, there's a lot of nice paths and signs, so you don't really have to worry about getting lost. But seriously, in the day of mobile phones, I don't think that's going to be your #1 problem. But if we take this, what forests give us, and make it into a financial issue. I know it sounds a little bad talking about finances when this is something personal. This is about feelings, about caring for the forest and letting the forest care for us. But if we put it into finances, it's a very quantitative measure, shall we say. So if someone's saying, well, I don't trust your feelings, and often that happens in politics, numbers are a little bit tougher to change. So if the numbers say something it's a little bit easier to follow in some cases. Now, if more and more people go to the forests, they will feel better. They will go to health centers less, they will be out of work and studies less. So we need to encourage more and more people to come here. A little over a year ago when the pandemic hit, I saw a lot of people walking all around here in this area. And I knew then, and I asked a few people, and of course I could see it in opinion articles as well, and in my own feelings, that it really helped. The situation was tough, but this provided a respite. I mean, people in Italy, they didn't have any place to go. They were stuck in their homes. For example, we had the forests here. We had the Taaporinvuori area, for example, and it was good for us. If we could get more people to do this, and we're working on it. I'm part of the Peltsumultsu group with the city of Tampere, and we're looking for new kinds of activities to get people of all ages to go to the forest more. Now, this, let's talk finances again. This is a scalable resource. If you have 100 people walking around here, no problem. You can keep huge safety distances, and one might not even see the other. If you have 1,000 people, same thing. You can all fit here. You can keep safety distances. You can go down your own path. You're not going to bump into anyone here. Probably, well, you might see someone else, but the point is we can get a lot of more people here. If we do that, the financial incentives for protecting this area are even greater. If a small amount of people come here, good. More people come, amazing. And when we're talking about these finances, we can see that the price in health problems by destroying this area, it's just too high. It's too much to pay for that. So instead, we should look at alternatives. And like I said, fortunately, there are alternatives. Now, the road number 3 is a very busy road, and I hope it gets busier because if there's a lot more trucks going, moving stuff, I mean, they can be electric or hydrogen or biogas-powered trucks in the future. That means there's more business, there's more jobs, there's more taxes. So that's good. And I do understand the need to increase the capacity, but we could expand the current lanes. We could work on the intersections. There are very good plans, as well as for the railways. They need more areas to unload and process. There have been a lot of good alternative locations and positions where we don't have to affect this area at all. There are good alternatives. We still get the financial gains. And I am not against constructing, expanding, but in the big picture, shall we say, for the longest while, we've taken more from the nature than we've given back. So right now, we have to give back more than we take. Okay, so we have to cut down a few acres of forest somewhere to expand for new buildings. I mean, that's natural, that's okay. We just need to ensure that we protect twice that amount of acres of forest somewhere else. Give more than take until we can find a proper balance there. That's what we need to do. So not against development, not against traffic, but realizing the great value here. Like I said, this is a scalable resource. We can get more people here, and we can understand that there's business in this too. Tourism, we understand that. Various kinds of activities there can be non-profit activities, there can be for-profit activities. People selling coffee and donuts near a forest area, hey, no problem. People selling some kind of a guided trips around here for tourists, wonderful, let's just go with it. We can use it for everyone and we can make gains. And like I said, we can have sustainable forestry as well. Not really here, of course, but you know, we have quite a lot of forests, and even if we do protect more of them, and I hope we do, we still have a lot to work with, a lot more science coming up, and we're only scratching the surface of what forests can do for us. We're just starting to understand the science of the health benefits, and there are so many of them. I mentioned a few. What about berries? Forest berries we have are a true superfood. We do more science, we can increase their value in international trade. Already right now, you can make a hefty buck by collecting berries as summer work. A lot of people do that. There's a lot of money to be made, and we can even raise that up. Because when we realize, oh, these berries are actually good for this, this, and this, but also this, and that. You know, a lot more we're learning. We're studying this all the time. We can fund these studies and they will pay back so much more. And you know the great thing? Even if you raise the prices of, say, our wild lingonberries a lot higher, they're going to be a huge commodity export in China when they have their polluted cities and they need something healthy to live with. But suppose you live here and you don't have that lot of money. No problem, because you can just go into the forest and pick them on your own. You don't have to pay anyone for picking berries or, for example, mushrooms if you get brave. Just know which ones to pick. And you can eat them, you can bring them home, you can sell them, no problem. You know, that's something that you can do here in Finland. I'm sure many of you have already been told this, but we can make a big buck and we can still make a healthy living for ourselves. And we need to talk about this future we want to have with nature, because nature will nurture us. It will nurture us more and more. The more we understand it, the more we study it, the better we will be. We can talk about a future where people really go into the forests and enjoy themselves there. They find more from the forests, more science in the forest, more well-being in the forest, more money in the forest, but also more just relaxing, just being in the forest. For example, I hope that more and more teachers who like to bring children out to the forest will have a chance for this. Many teachers like to do this. Not all are given proper chances for it. I'm sorry to have heard this from some teachers, but these are all great ideas. We have a wonderful future with nature ahead of us. We should build on that and keep going that way and protect these wonderful, immeasurably valuable places that we have. I would also like to send a few greetings here. This week I have had wonderful discussions with, for example, Olli-Poika Parviainen from the Green Party and Erkki Seppänen from the Finns Party. Again, political opponents, but it's so wonderful to toss out ideas back and forth, because together we're stronger, together across the parties, and together with nature. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.